Conversation om si koy ay pa abes kaya nasa kanya
of this
le ti khona dani ari ngai khona ni sama se I khuyao ma am dere ida ne kai sia puruha kai taung is ti khobam sin nen koi hasna saradi khai purika kharu si ike kauka jimi ne Shark Islands Satska Kutsako, Titskako, Man Iske Shark Islands heritage sites as a verklaring. Aibatskako, Titskani, Goon Aibako, Oike Amberha, Huini Hui Hati Maha Kamai Isi Baha. Si Ige, Tai I enkele Shark Islands I Kais, Master, Ause, Aring Uni. Kama itsansi batskira kotsaho
Tsitske amper ni sa Shark Island satskako. Si
This was called the Great Namakal. Today is the Namak talk about the lost land.
Are very lively habitats for sharks.
of the Aman people of Patani after in 1779.
A bit of little breathing space. As the king and the envoy of my people, the Nukun, commonly known as Damara people, we shared the grief and the pain and the loss of the Nama Oshirero, who were massacred but survived the Holocaust atrocities at the hand of the Yemen brutality. The statistics after the genocide period testified that 60% of our Damara ancestors perished during this period of genocide, as we were living together in the same vicinity with our Herero communities. We, however, understand the extermination order of Van Trotter made clear that it was geared towards wiping out Namas and the Hereros, armed to unarmed children or women with no mercy. Unfortunately, the two groups were not living in isolation, but living in harmony with other tribes, especially the Damaras and the Sa Hainkom. As a result, our people became victims and affected communities whose blood was shed. And that is the brutality of Van Trotter's extermination order. Prince Hayab Urusip, a crown prince of the Damara royal house, who was a warrior, sabotaged the construction of the railway line and confiscated settlers' trading stock, and was murdered and beheaded and his skull taken to Yemen. Among so, Hereros knows that they had a great warrior who was the chief commander of the Herero forces, Amatama Kawerwa. He was the person who competed for the Herero throne with Samuel Maharero. He was a Damara by descent. Our people, who refused to build the railway line near Caribbean, were rounded up and shipped off to this notorious Shark Island prison concentration camp, and they never came back to Caribbean. A group of Aman were recruited and brought to Caribbean to complete the railway line. After 6 months, they also revolted. They were sent back by ship to Lüderitz, to Shark Island. It is where the great leader of the Aman, Chief Fredericks, and his wife were imprisoned and died in concentration camp. Let the soul of this great leader and his wife rest in peace. The kind-hearted person who gave them this piece of land free of charge, Boaz would say, stank for dank. In conclusion, let me recall a story of a young Damara woman called Elizabeth Twangoses from the Hercha family, who gave birth to the well-built son, the great chief of Maharero, in Norway, in Okahancha, who was named Charago Buridago Vili Gamba Uruma Mutakume Maharero. He became one of the fearless military strategies of his father. With the rival given to him by his uncle, Chief Velem Zerawa of Omaruru, bought from the English trader Inochimbingwe by the great warrior Kariko. He became the grand commander of the Battle of Hamakari. He freed the Herero cattle in Waterberg area, drove them to Botswana by horses. He brought his brother Samuel to safety in Botswana. He will be remembered by the warriors as a Mutakume who poured water into the barrel roof of the gun when it became red and overfiring. He again put some gun oil and shoot 2 rifles at once at the place called Ianta. They said, the Hereros said, he lifted only his shoulders left and right, and the German shoots through it fell down like flies as he wiped them off. In a Herero they said, why Omanini kamuho, or shoots through it. He refuses to hand over his rival, given to great warrior Kariko and Chief Zerawa, to the Botswana government with his famous quote, "If I surrender a firearm, I must be given a new firearm." He did not understand that is for the purpose of political asylum for people that travel with him. To guarantee their political asylum, the Herero warriors poisoned him at the place called Chaos. His grandmother, upon hearing this story, also died in solidarity with the grandchild that she raised. These remains of this Twangose Kambauruma Maharero, the great warrior and the grand commander of Hamakari, must come back and be buried at the feet of his father, the great Maharero. Finally, we started our diaspora network with our people at Chaos in Botswana to repatriate back to the motherland. We further network with our people in Ghana from the Nubia tribe area, as well as our people who went as slaves to Cameroon and in America. We network with our people in America in diaspora that are eager to visit us in Namibia. The tapestry of our people's history is in the process of completion and in a correct trajectory. German government must apologize unconditionally and address the issue of genocide in honesty and spirit of genuine reconciliation and healing of the wounds. Losing 60% of our population is not a joke. For Trota Order or no order, it was the blood of 60% of the Damara-speaking people that was spilled. I'm in solidarity for the guests of restoration justice. We lost land, our means of economic survival, our minds, and our livestock in this process. Once again, accept our sincere appreciation for your kind invitation. In our solidarity, we are together in this quest that was started and initiated by Chief Wahima Lüderitzwaterfront that gained momentum. Let his soul rest in peace. Let the souls of others who pass on fighting for justice, including Captain Henrik Vetboy, who fought a noble cause, rest in peace. Let the souls of our ancestors who paid the highest price, who perished at this island, finally rest in peace. I thank you.
I want to, before I get to my few lines, also up front, try to put something, probably my ears are not hearing it correctly. But I should give it a proper context in terms of Shark Island and the government in respect of Shark Island. It is because of what Shark Island is to the history of this nation and this country that during my time as the director at the National Heritage Council with Gau Friedrichs and Gau Gober, their assistants, that Shark Island was declared as a national heritage place. And what was very striking at that time, when I had to go around to collect information for Shark Island to be declared a heritage place of importance to Nama people, but collectively to Namibians, the nation, I struggled, besides the two Gauhan, to get additional voices to augment the story that should help us to get Shark Island declared. Awa, kaya isi ubahe, puruha Engels and Guava, Kauhat Karagidoa, Ibnan Awa, Shark Island's Tare in Haribisa. Ngai kaisa asnga sadangku kama mua kaisa bubada cikin ngan bai in nama nga Aba agab Lüderitzwaterfront but this is exactly the reason for Shark Island and brutality that happened here. I don't want that perspective of the story. Ni sadu ngalo ke sadu antari krisa tu ni kasi tsan krisa constitution ngai khwaka chini ngala dali mora sasi sadu ti tari sis khat kasi dan tsansi ni ra oi chini ngala ni Shark Island padu ke tring abining an ngas tu iskan ma ngoi di tinga sada tu dan ni kain chiman kai idan anhe madi dan ngali ka on kaisa kita usah terang mendapat sah, orang mandi tu kaita halu tahu, hanu ke aman orang sadar di tadi sisa tadi untung kesa. Then it is undemocratic. Kalau kita gini tu kalau minta karu dah, tapi aman tadi asyik tidak mata wali tikas. Tapi aman tadi nggak subuh tu makabe ni kaban ngaris maisa odani dia bahan ngari cing dia pada bohan kris kakai secara situa tatse mana aswas dia pada kris lagi tidak yang kau si kau so I think every time we come down to Shark Island in our traditions before the Germans came here and others came here, all of us had what people called cantations or libations. Nitse kom akta kuna lagi wada gi wine. Ni lau kuni kris esi corona ngira kan kuna anak kai wine. Wada. Now, if you come now after so many years to Shark Island, I want to appeal to the Nama communities gathered here today. Neba treats ni treats o kume o high scouts in an sangam san sin hats o wikrisa o sin o wikrisa. To guru nabadu ko Shark Island spasio. Did you listen? San kakaban amika sanskuru. It's ho e ti hogu sangam nabakunta. Ngalits ni oaskaun dan kaya sitsta wakrisa. Tas di bandara saya ada krisa. Saya sedang ni wakrisa. Orang beda. Nama kaya kundi hona ho. Kan stout sedai ho nama kunsa. What's kira resilience ho. Mati kosi ka ho kom habe tidak hanin to kahe. Kam si kuila si yau. Oi di sampai. Naskini Shark Islands dasar sama aku. Wah tahu sekali bagus ni wah sekini ngadi wah. Hey, now I am ready. Nisi dah king komisioner. I harap ya, habe tidak akan coming. Anda aku ya, I will come back. The other thing is, if you come to Shark Island, don't forget. Ngaki ha in alisi ugu sada in sin ngau san geti bunga kana kabe ki toi ngai sina nama koin daba sada kada kira ngono koin kayo han kada ka koin khasdan kada sada karan ko ungi sada di nama kai koina o shiba discipline ba ho tatse kabe kai mai ya yo tatse kabe ki kai mai discipline ba Otska Shark Islands to treaty Natsko Krikume wow. How could we coisi wow? Otskini Hasa Hanamat Akrisa. How Hanamat Skoutskini Ognai ha San Oging Laus and Agadiha say Habili wow. Are we together? The other thing is Mati no kamu menentukan kau hau ngangin kau boleh ikrona ha tidak minat saya pun dengan kau kau deh apa kau mam tidak ni humi kau bisa mam deh tidak ni humi satu kali ka sunrise That's hangan naman guys. Uy ba guys, hangan sa ba? Sino ba guys sa sidwa? Nida ngawa, kami na ngawa. Ungin kauga ha, kaya naman na ni ba kali Sige ngama ka. For those of us that are together, it is our moral duty. And I want to appeal of absolute respect to the entire leadership to help solve the Nama traditional problems we have in the Nama traditional communities. With that, and you must don't soak out, engage us. That's why we are in the government. Talk to us, use us so we can find solutions. Time amai mi kawin ai hui mi a omsi coming omsi. Time amai. President da kauna pikaya the president said the following the other day kauna pikaya yo. Kamu tidak maya presiden sistem kada kita tidak bangun ma kung kacita ni tayi kau kai mi kaisa. You get the answer. Orang kira said whoever should become the cow is that Nama traditional communities call and only call. Orang ina bagun kau oda sadar lauda tuiba hada ngan tuiba hasa sisin uci ina huire ida tui Nama aikai unity is golden. Kau budak pun kapas kusi. Sida kan dia wana di luar. Oke, hongkan ting hong kau baca bega apa? Nama tu kau macam ni aman lausan wan ini. Bapa pun hak kesan anak. Siman ini kau kesan anak. I am together with all the government leadership pledging today my support. Engage us, apply us. So we can find solutions for the problems that kept some of the recognized communities in this country to become part of country. Satu kali matrisa ini tu bahahun hadrit mah. Kita sadar tahu cukup, mari dah ini kerja kau bisa satu kali citra satu kali. Mama dia tu sudah kami no. Habis dah kau asyik kami pergi. Kita kau ikut sanksi, cakap man kau na. Ish. Kau justru kini mangkasa kau mereka berskin like kan sama dia mi turis di sini kini nama kau nak cuaca. Kita turis kan, kau si harga cincang kau. Ingat tu kimang was ni segi kau hamsa, tu naras bisa nahas dengan si watri in nama na tu mereka. Kau budak kau ngabar sosial. Kau kai kete sa.
I would like to recognize Valerie Isaacs, our director of our proceedings, and to tell her that she has challenged me to pick up some words of Nama. I want to tell you that I will, and I will. But at my age, I cannot find a proper teacher. But I think I will. Thank you very much. Today I am a delegated, I'm an envoy sent here by our Vice President, Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah. However, before I get into a statement, I would like to say that I'm so fortunate and very privileged to have been sent here once again to meet with you all in this very solemn occasion. I have joined the struggle for Namibia's independence at a very young age. And one thing that made us to fight, one thing that sustained our war was the image of our people chained, put into horrible conditions. When we look at that, nothing will have stood on our way to fight the enemy, because it was unbearable for us to see. When I left, I was young. I did not know some of these stories. But when I went into exile, I was introduced to the politics. And I was told that is during that time that the extermination order was made known to us. That is where we learned that the Germans killed more than 80% of our Herero people, and so many of many others, the Namas and the Damaras. So I want you to know that you are not alone in the fight for justice as far as the history between Namibia and Germany is concerned. Statement reads as follows. The Director of Ceremonies, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers, Honorable Members of Parliament, Gaub Johannes Isaacs, Chief of the, this one is I'm now challenged, Nai Kau Traditional Authority, and Chairperson of the Nama Traditional Leaders Association, Honorable Governors, distinguished Gaon and leaders of various Nama traditional authorities and other authorities present, distinguished community and spiritual leaders, Honorable regional and local councillors, Your Worship, the Mayor of the town of Lüderitz, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. This year marks 119 years since the German colonial government in the then Southwest Africa issued extermination orders, first against the Ovaherero in 1904 and the Nama people in 1905. Following these extermination orders, the German colonial forces carried out the first genocide in the 20th century against the Ovaherero and the Nama communities. Subsequently, thousands of the Ovaherero and Namas were mercilessly killed, the majority of which were defenseless women and children. The German colonial regime also implemented a scorched earth policy where nothing was spared, including livestock and other material possessions of the indigenous communities were seized by force. Those who survived the brutal killings were captured as prisoners of war and interned at various concentration camps in Windhoek, Swakopmund, and Lüderitz, particularly at this notorious Shark Island. The concentration camp at Shark Island was opened by the German colonial forces in 1905 and used to hold the Herero and Nama people during the 1904-1908 genocide. When this concentration camp was closed in 1907, thousands of prisoners perished due to hunger, disease, and horrible weather conditions. Historical records indicate that the place we were earlier this morning called Shark Island because it was infested with deadly sharks who fed on those trying to escape, while the dead were thrown in the sea as prey to the sharks. Director of Ceremonies, the Genocide Memorial Tombstone, which we unveiled earlier today, reminds us about the horrible memories of brutality that our communities endured during colonialism. Moreover, that tombstone bears testimony to the heroism of our forefathers, such as Chief Samuel Marrero, Henry Bedboy, Jacob Marenga, and others, who stood firm and fought against colonialism or colonial settlers and intruders in our country. These heroes started the early resistance against colonial rule, which inspired the generations of our time and those before us, who decided to take up arms and fight against colonial occupation of our country until we achieve our genuine freedom and independence on 21st March 1990. Now that we have achieved political freedom, our task before us is to embark upon the second phase of the struggle for economic independence. During the past 34 years of our independence, our government has embarked upon socio-economic programs to provide basic services and improve the standard of living of our people. As a result, we have expanded the provision of education, healthcare services, roads, potable water, and electricity in all the regions of our country, including the Karas region. While many Namibians now have access to quality public services, we still need to do more to ensure that the majority of our people have access to quality public service. Equally, we need to expand the economic horizons, covering areas such as industrialization, value addition, and agricultural production in order to enhance food security and create employment opportunity for our people, particularly the youth. Plans are underway to develop the green schemes of the Nekata Dam agricultural project, which will commence this year. Once realized, this project will create hundreds of job opportunities for the residents of the Karas region. Our country is currently embarking upon the green energy, oil and gas industries with the implementation of the green hydrogen projects in the Karas region, particularly in Lüderitz. Lüderitz, that has been traditionally a fishing town, is gradually being transformed by diversified industries, positioning this town into a national industrial hub of our country. More economic and employment opportunities are being created for the residents of Lüderitz and the wider Karas region. The beneficiaries of this great economic boom in the Karas region are the young people. However, they can only meaningfully benefit if they have requisite skills and knowledge. Therefore, we call upon our youth, particularly in the Karas region, to take their education seriously so that they can gain skills that enable them to become active participants in the emerging economic opportunity that our government is creating. Director of ceremony, as we unveiled the Shark Island Memorial Tombstone, the dark chapter of the 1904-1908 genocide that Germany remains unresolved. It is for this reason that the government of the Republic of Namibia and the government of the Federal Republic of Germany are negotiating in order to find an amicable solution and close this dark chapter in our history. Negotiations have now taken 9 years. While some milestones have been achieved, there is still a long way to go. Our government's resolve remains that Germany must acknowledge that she has committed genocide against our people. Therefore, Germany must render an unconditional apology to the affected communities and the Namibian people for the genocide and pay reparations for the genocide. The negotiations are ongoing and no agreement has been reached with Germany. We therefore urge our communities and their leaders to support the government in the negotiation so that a solution is found which is in the best interest of the affected communities in particular and the Namibian people in general. It is only this way that we will honor our ancestors who perished during the 1904-1908 genocide. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the Nama Traditional Leaders Association for taking the right decision to erect the tombstone in memory of our ancestors who suffered the 1904-1908 genocide. Our traditional leaders remain strategic and important partners with the government in the governance of our country. Traditional leaders complement the government's role in maintaining unity and cohesion among our people. In view of this, we call upon our traditional leaders to promote unity, harmony, peace and cohesion among our communities so that we can build a united and peaceful nation under the motto, and I quote, "One Namibia, one nation."